Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all keeping well. And welcome to another session looking at Pytest. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at how to capture log output from your code. And to do so, I've got a really simple function which basically just logs two things. We can log an error or we can do a simple info statement. This of course will work in pretty much every sort of situation, but I've done this just to sort of show you here's how you can catch two different levels of logging, and then we'll go ahead and write the tests, and then we'll do one which looks for this and then one which looks for this. So our function, pretty straightforward. We take in x and y. We then try and say, okay, let's do x divided by y. However, if we encounter a zero division error, we're going to log that something bad has happened and then return 0. However, if this is all okay and we're all good and we haven't encountered this, we're then going to log that we are returning something divided by something, and then just go ahead and return that result. So I've imported logging. We set the level to logging.debug to try and capture everything. Let's go ahead and just run the first one. And that works fine. We can see returning 120 divided by 6. Yeah, all looks good, no problem at all. That returns 20. Let's go ahead and do our second one. So this one here, for y, I'm passing in 0. So I would expect this one to raise this zero division error, or we'll catch it here. Therefore, show this on the output and then return 0. So let's run this one. And yeah, exactly as expected. So this one here is making logging.error happen. This one at the top, this is all good. This one is making logging.info happen. So in some situations, this is one thing I tend to have to do a fair amount in work, is you often want to write tests which make sure that our log statements actually appear. So if you've got a really important function and perhaps a side effect of that is it raises an error and then maybe, I don't know, logs an email, sends some kind of email somewhere, you might want to write tests to make sure that the logging actually happens in the first place. So to do so, I'm going to go back into my test.py, or go into it for the first time I should say, and I've already got Pytest imported. So if I can then just go ahead and do from main, I'm going to import, what's it called? Function which logs. Not a very inventive name, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. What I want to do is quickly build up my first test, and let's go ahead and call this one, let's go ahead and call it just test error. And now, whenever we import Pytest, this gives us a range of fixtures which we can go ahead and use, and one of them is called caplog, short for capture log, or something along those lines anyway. And what this does, this provides basically an avenue upon which we can start to interrogate some logs. So if we go ahead and do this, and then down below here, what I can then do is open up a context manager, and then inside the context manager, I can then go ahead and call this function. The context manager will then look at what's being logged. So what I can then go ahead and do here is do with caplog, and then we do a dot. We're going to access at level here. And then in here, we basically want to say capture everything kind of down to this or above effectively. So if we do .debug, sort of the lowest level we can go, this is going to capture everything. So if I do this, I'll just do some dots for the time being. So I'm going to be calling my function in here and then get to work basically looking at what logs have come out the other side. And before I do that, I just want to kind of come up here for a second. So in my view, I tend to try and use just the same one, which is records here, but you can access text and messages, and these give you basically different snippets around what's been logged. So if you do .text, or just, this one here, this will give you the whole log output as a formatted string, but you can just do messages, and that'll basically just give you this little bit of string here. So let's go ahead and look at all three. So if we say with caplog at level debug, so this means that we're going to capture everything. Let's go ahead and call function which logs, and then we'll do 10 and 0. So we would expect that when doing 10, 0, it's going to go and try and do this. Of course, doing 10 divided by 0 is going to raise this error and therefore make logging.error happen. Okay. Just to make this fail, what I'm going to do is do assert 0, because what we can do is go ahead and sort of do some prints here and then capture the standard out. So if we do caplog dot, and let's take a look at text first. So we'll do caplog dot text. I'm going to clear my screen like so. And then we'll do, let's see, Pytest test.py. Okay, looks good. So we can see the test failed, obviously, because I've done assert 0, but we can see it's done a captured standard out call. That's basically this here. So if I just did do some 1-1s either side, so it looks a bit crude, but it kind of shows the point of what's coming out. So 1-1, 1-1, so either side, it's basically this, so this bit here, that's what caplog.text is. So theoretically, if you weren't really like too fussed about what's either side, you could do assert that this is in caplog.text. Yeah, I mean, that would work okay. So we could do something like, let's capture this from here. So you could do something like assert that this is in caplog dot, and then we'll do text here. So this will work. Let's go ahead and try it. And there we go, all good. But what you might want to do is be a bit more specific about what you're capturing. So if I just remove this, in fact, what we'll do, we'll comment out for the time being, and I'll just show you messages first. But what I do want to show kind of eventually is, rather than just saying, okay, check this is logged, we might want to say, okay, check this is logged, but let's also check that it's actually a debug message or an error message or something like that. So you can be a bit more granular, and rather than saying, just check the text, we can check other bits of the log statement as well. But let me just quickly show messages here, and I will bring back the assertion of 0 to show you what the output looks like. Let's hit run. And there we go. So this time we get something a bit different. What this does, this just gives you like just this bit here. So if you're just interested in that, then we can go ahead and use caplog.messages and basically the same thing. It'll just give you a list of the things that are logged. So actually, let me just show you something else quickly. If I did this, and perhaps just did 1, 2, 3 in here. So now I've got 2 log statements running that. Let's go ahead and run. There we go. So to see now we have a list of 2 items. So this will give you a list of things which are logged. So that might be useful in some situations. Again, it's kind of on a case-by-case basis, really. The one I think is probably the best one is records here. So if I just did, in fact, let's remove these ones for the time being and remove this here. Okay, let's take a look at this. And before we do so, I'm actually going to remove that as well. Let's run again. And we get this here. So this now gives us quite a lot more stuff to look at. And just to keep it simple, let's go ahead and remove the first one. Let's hit run. And then what you can do, so if you're basically expecting this to log just one thing, if we do caplog.records of 0, let's hit run. This now gives us access to this object, which has quite a few interesting attributes. To examine them, let's pass those to the vars function. So it's going to now return a dictionary of items to look at. And we can see a whole lot more things now. So we can see name, message, level name, error. We can see the path name. We can see the function it's come from, when it was created. There's a whole lot more information you can see about the log statement. So what I can do, let's go ahead and just call this log here. And we can now assert a couple of different things. So if I was to do, let's do something like log dot, actually no, not log dot, sorry, it's a dictionary. So we'll do this here. So we'll do message first. So if I did say something like this, let's try hello for a second. We now see it's unhappy because we said check it logs this, and actually it logged this. So let's go ahead and take this. Let's move this guy in here. And then let's go back up to this just for a second. Where is it? Another one we can also look at as well is this level name here. So if we did assert, and then let's go ahead and take level name, it is equal to, and then this is going to be error here. So now this is just, in my view, just a little bit stricter. So we'll hit run, and now this passes. So let's suppose, for example, okay, we want to make sure that our function is always doing this message at the level of it being an error. So maybe someone comes along and changes this. Maybe this is now a warning instead. Let's clear and run. Now it crashes because our test has said, actually, yeah, this one might have passed and that's fine. But however, the level of that log, we're expecting it to be an error. But of course, we made it into a warning instead. So that's just something I like to do. Of course, it's sort of down to preference, but I just think it looks a little bit cleaner. So with that done, let's go ahead and take this. And now maybe I can bring this down here. And let's now do not test error, but we'll go ahead and do this one as test info. Yeah, we can still do it this one here, but what we'd now like to do is make it do like 10 and 5. So this time it should actually give us, rather than 0 division, it should give us something like this here. So let's go ahead and run it. So we run this, and of course it's failed because it's not 0 division anymore. It's returning something divided by something. But what's interesting here is these items which we're passing in, so in this case x is here, y is here, we can access those as part of this. So if we just do, real quick, we'll just print log here for a second and run again. And it's this one, so args 10 and 5. So let's go ahead and do assert, it's going to be log. I'll just pass in args into here. And I believe that is a tuple. So we'll do 10 and 5. Let's hit run. Okay, looks good. So it didn't fail here, which is nice. But we can now see it's now failing here. So we need to go ahead and grab this. This should now fix our test and put that in here. So we've still got this one, which is going to fail, but I want to kind of do these bit by bit or line by line, make it pass. Let's run again. Yeah, cool, looks good. So now it's only failing on the last one. The reason it's failing here is because we're saying asserts that the level of this log is an error, but of course it's not. This is doing .info. And we can see, there we go, it even says here when we print it. So we'll do assert, that's info, and now it passes. So in a nutshell, that is how you use the caplog fixture to basically check what log outputs are coming out of your code. So just one more time, of course I've done a really simple example, but you could adapt this to multiple different use cases for more complex examples. So we have two ways out of this function. We can either come out here and do log.error and log this, or we can come out here, do a log.info, and then return this. So we've done one test for each, and all we've done really is just said, okay, let's capture all the logs, call the function raising a 0 division error, and then just check that the message contains this, and then just check that the level of that log is this. And then basically it's the same again below, of course, a different log level, a different message. And this one here, we're also looking at the arguments which are passed into the log statement as well. If you've got any more use cases for this, or if there's something else you'd like to see us do with logging, feel free to leave us a comment. But I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Have a great week, and see you all in the next video.